Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is Tuesday and I really wanted to do a tip for Tuesday today because my daughter gave me a good tip. I think she saw it on TikTok, but anyway, it is fabulous. It has saved me a ton of frustration when the dog really wants attention, but I really need to get stuff done. But I think I'm going to save it for tomorrow because today is also Mardi Gras, even though I have St. Patrick's Day decorations. I was going to say Irish decorations, which I guess they are Irish, but they're St. Patrick's Day. But yeah, today is Mardi Gras. And so I've been wanting to do some sort of Mardi Gras craft for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks now, ever since I went to the Dollar Tree and I found these here. So they are Mardi Gras headband. They have like these crazy kind of hair coming off of it. I guess it's not really hair. These are, I guess I could leave this one on. Anyway, these are like mesh tubing. And so they had some of the mesh tubing you could buy by itself, but they only had it in green. And I really loved all the Mardi Gras colors. And I thought, you know what, I can take these things apart, which I've done. So I have lots of these kind of hanging around here. And I have done all kinds of things with these, or tried to, I guess I should say. So I used like a wire frame that I got at the Dollar Tree and I kind of hung these around there. I was going to make some kind of like glowy thing. I don't know. It looked like a big jellyfish, so I decided to scrap that idea. I had several more ideas. I couldn't figure out really what I wanted to do. And so this morning I got up and I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to make a Mardi Gras centerpiece, or at least that's what I think I'm going to make. You guys probably know what I'm going to make because you've seen the thumbnail to this, and I have no idea how this is going to turn out. But I went ahead and grabbed 3 candles here. So these are the flameless candles. Yeah, I just want to make sure all of these are working. That one doesn't look quite as bright. Yeah, I guess they're all the same. So yeah, all of these are working. And then I also grabbed some of these little containers. I think these come in like a 6-pack or an 8-pack at the Dollar Tree. You know, they're kind of like the ones you put like dressings in or something like that. I grabbed one of these silver platters at the Dollar Tree. This actually came from Dollar General, but I think they have similar stuff at the Dollar Tree. So really all I want to use is the purple and the green and the gold. So those are my Mardi Gras colors, and the rest I will save for something else. So if you don't actually have this sheet, you can just grab some other stickers at the Dollar Tree. I know they have all different kinds of little gemstones, and you don't have to use gemstones. You can use a different kind of sticker that you like, or not use a sticker. You could use something else. Again, you want to kind of make this your own. At least that's what I'm going to try to do. I also found this, what I thought was really cute. So another little headband here, like I need another one on my head, and a mask. So I'm not quite sure how all of this is going to work. I also found in the basement that I bought this at Dollar Tree probably around Halloween. So this is more like Day of the Dead, but it had the same colors and I didn't really have any Mardi Gras ribbon. So I might swap this out. I might not even use this. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I don't really have a clue what I'm doing here. We're just going to get our glue gun and some scissors right here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn these back off. And then we're going to cut off the plastic that's around the side. And hopefully I don't mess up my candles too bad. All right. So once I've got plastic off of there, I'm going to move that out of the way, move this out of the way. We're going to open up our sheet of gemstones here, and I don't even think it's a whole sheet. I think they're in strips, but I'm not 100% positive. I'm not even sure how to open the darn thing. There we go. So I think what I want to do is, and I also found some of these. Now these, I don't know what to do with the rest of them. These are little, I think they're for cupcakes. So one of our local grocery stores, Shop and Save, went out of business a few years back. And when they did, the bakery department had all these big bags of things that you could buy, you know, little things that went in cupcakes like this, things that went on cakes like this. And I bought this huge thing of Mardi Gras stuff that I've never used. So I thought that I would, where's the green one at? Oh, I have the green one in here. Thought I would use these on here. So of course, if you don't have, I thought this was one, but you know what I think this is? I think this goes to one of those, you decorate a pumpkin and you push that in there. I think that's what that's to. But anyway, if you don't have these, again, you could use like stickers in place of this. You could kind of do whatever you want. So it looks like, I think I used these for something once before. Maybe it was for a decoration. I don't know, it was in an older video. And I must have broken off the back of these because those two are missing. And this one's not. So I'm going to go ahead and break that off. Okay. I'm going to move these aside and start with one of these strips here. And I think I'm going to go around the bottom of the candle. So just right along the edge here. Try to keep it as straight as I can. Trim off the extra. And then I'm going to grab another strip and we're going to do the same thing around the top. And our edge is not straight on the top, so I'm just going to do my best to make my rhinestones here straight, since I really don't have a guide. And then trim off the extra again. There we go. I should probably make sure I'm trying to line up, you know, my seams with my seams, but oh well. Some of this you might not even see because it might be hidden by some of the other decorations. And I'm actually trying to decide, do I want to do 2 rows? I mean, like, how blingy do we want this? Because I do have another 2 rows. We have 4 rows of each color. So, why the heck not, right? Where's our seam at? Right there. Yeah, there we go. I think I like that. So then I'm going to take the other strip here. And I will probably save all these extra ones and make something else with it. That one doesn't want to come off on that end. I bet I look ridiculous about now. I forgot I had this on my head so I couldn't see a second ago. All right, where's our seam at again? And of course, there we go. Okay. Set that there. Take a look, make sure they're straight everywhere. And that looks, I think, pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the other 2 candles and we're going to do the same thing with our green and our gold. Okay, and then once we have all those on there, and I was wrong, I only had 4 strips of yellow. I mean, 3 strips of yellow. I had 4 of each of the other ones and 3 of the light purple and 3 yellow. But that's okay. I just used the little extra pieces to finish off this one. So I just want to make sure that I find the front. So I don't want to be able to see any seams like that. So that's going to be the front on this one. I'm just looking for the best angle, you know. Okay, so I've got my glue gun ready to go, and then I'm just going to match up my little fleur-de-lis with their colors. And I don't want to use a whole lot of glue because this will melt the wax. So we only want to use a tiny, tiny bit. I'm just going to hold it in place till it dries. All right, so then once our yellow one is done, I'm just going to move along and do the same thing with the next 2. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my little silver tray, and we've got a couple of different options here. Basically, I grabbed these little dressing containers or whatever you want to call them so that I'm able to stack these up. And so the reason I want to do that is I want to use this to kind of cover up the base. But if I do that, it's also going to cover up my decoration. So I need to raise this up a little bit and then kind of fill in the base. So I thought I could either go something like tiered like that, or we could keep them all the same, or we could do the one in the center higher. And I think I'm going to glue these like this. And yeah. And the other thing, I want to be able to use this on here, but I think these feathers are going to cover everything up. So what I'm going to do is see if I can pull them off. At least pull that part off. And then maybe cut this part. There we go. And then we can glue this back on, but instead of going this way so that I cover up all that extra glue, I think I'm going to go this way with it. So I'm just going to glue that back on real quick. There we go. So that way, if I put this in here, and let's cut these things off too. I don't know that they're going to do much for my project. I'm just going to cut those off. So these will have to be, let's glue these together first. That would be helpful, I think. And I probably should be gluing, now that I'm thinking of it. Well, for starters, I'm going to do one right in the center. I know that. So that's a safe bet right there. So I think I should be gluing these together so that I have a wider base to glue there. So let's glue and hope that this glue doesn't melt the plastic. I need to take this off my head. I can't see what I'm doing here. Oh, and I almost forgot about my little hat to use. So I'm glad I did that. Hopefully my hair's not a complete disaster. Okay. And I want to space these out just a little bit. So let's glue this one together. Like that. Actually, you know, now that I'm sitting here staring at this, I'm wondering if I can take the lid off and possibly, let's see. Oops. I didn't think it was going to crack like that. But actually, that made it easy for me. I'm just going to cut out the centerpiece. I have an idea, and I'm not quite sure if this is going to work, but we're going to see. Okay. So this should still snap back down on there. So what I want to do is glue this to here so that I'm able to turn that on and off. Does that make sense? So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to go around the whole edge of this. I'm going to flip it over onto here. I'm going to make sure that the hole in the center allows for the switch to be turned on and off. And then I'm going to put it back on here and it should snap into place. Ooh, it worked. I'm surprised. Well, not real surprised, but okay. Now I need to decide if this is how I really want these. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. I know, I keep changing my mind, don't I? All right, we're going to toss that aside. So I'm going to do the same thing with this lid. Hopefully it'll pop really easy for me again. I'm looking kind of dangerous with these scissors in my hand. All right, so I'm going to cut the center out again. And be careful so you don't cut yourself on the plastic. Again, this was just something I was kind of making up as I go today. See if I can get this through here again. It's kind of like a hard piece of plastic. There we go. All right, move those out of the way. And then, actually, let's glue these down to the bottom real quick. Let's do that first. So all the way around the edge. So I'm going to snap these back onto the bottom. This one's a little crooked because it has glue on the bottom. So I'm going to swap it out for this one. I think maybe go back just a little bit. We have to find a way to get this off of here too. Let's see if this will just rip off. Yes. Cut our tag off. Just trying to figure out where I want to set this. There we go. Okay, so I think you guys can see kind of what I got going on here now. Right, like that. So I just kind of want to glue these down in place, and I'm going to save these until we get the bottom filled in a little bit. So some glue here on the bottom. There we go. Now I'm going to set these aside, and I'm going to start working on some of this here. So these are already tied together at the ends, and so what I want to do is, there's a bunch of ribbon in here. Actually, I think I'm just going to leave them like that. So I'm just going to grab some glue. I'm going to start trying to secure this in here. So I'm just going to use my scissors and hold that in place until it dries. I think I'm just going to start shoving these in here, and then I'll figure out what to do with them from there. Maybe we'll just leave them like that, make it look like a skirt. I don't think it looks too bad, actually. I mean, it needs to be trimmed up a little bit, but yeah, that might be the easiest and the prettiest thing to do instead of trying to, and then I can leave the ribbons in there as well. Yeah, let's try that. Let's see, how many of these do I have? 1, 2. That's not one. I got 2 more on there. These 2. I think I have plenty. All right. So I'm just going to work my way around gluing these and just kind of securing them in the middle until I've got the entire tray filled. And I'm going to work from both sides. So once I get a few on this side, I'm going to turn it and then I'll go the other way. So basically I want them all kind of hanging out just like a skirt, just like if you were to put a skirt on, it would go all the way around. Okay, at this point it's getting a little hard to see what's going on. So at the risk of making a mess, I'm going to dump this out. And I'm going to put this up on here. So this will give me some kind of idea of what's really going on here. Okay, so I think at this point I'm going to take some of these and pull these through to the back just so we can make a little bit of room up front for our mask. We can always trim some of these if we need to. And I'm going to see if I can't, because the mask is so big, I'm going to try to bend it a little bit so we can kind of shape it maybe around our candle. So that way maybe it's not taking up so much space. And so one other thing I think I want to do is maybe get something to, if you look through here, you can kind of see the clear little containers that are under there. If I had known what I was going to make with all this, maybe I would have painted those so that they don't show up under there. But I think all I'm going to do is grab some like feathers that I have in here, some feathers that match. We just want our Mardi Gras colors. And I don't think I want any black in there either. So I'm going to use my feathers now and just kind of poke these in here, glue them down on the base, just kind of attach them so they are covering that base up, I guess is what I'm trying to say, the base of containers. And again, I don't want to get any glue up on the candles because I do still want to be able to pop them off right like that so that I can turn them on. All right, so now I think I'm going to take and I'm going to bend it again just a little bit. And what I want to do is make sure that it is secured onto my little platter here and not up against my candles. Because again, I want to be able to lift those up to be able to turn them on. So I'm just going to hold this in place till it dries. And then once I've got that secure, I am going to, I'm not sure, I think I want to put it over here. So this is all kind of like one focal point. So I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right along the bottom of here, or a lot of glue. And I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to slide these right. I'm going to slide this right under here. So I'm going to check out the back side of it real quick. Maybe pull a few of these through here. Maybe I'm going to trim a few of these top layers. I'm just kind of tossing them in the floor as I go. That one's a little long. Go. And so now I'm looking at it, and I think just any little places. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to take and I'm going to cut all these little ribbons out of here. Maybe I should have did this first. But I think what I want to do is make like the ribbons like they're all coming down off the side of here. Off of our little mask there. So I'm going to go around and find my ribbons. And I don't necessarily need all of them. I just want a pretty good chunk of them. Turn this back around. I'm going to kind of line up all the ends of these. And then once I've kind of got them all together, I'm just going to take one of the other ribbons. I'm just going to tie these and make them into one big bunch. So what I want is, so this is like coming off the side of the mask there. So this becomes excuse me, I said fart. This becomes part of the focal point as well. I'm just going to glue this part right here. I need some glue. Glue this part right here to the back side of my mask. So right like that. And if a few of those kind of come through the little eye piece, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. What I don't want is a bunch of glue strings though. All right, and then I think I'm going to take a few of these where we trimmed these extra ones, and I'm just going to tuck them right down in here so they're kind of sticking out. We can get that down in there. And I'm just kind of pushing them down in there, and then if I want to trim them or whatever, I can do that a bit later. And going through my feathers here, I've got a couple of these really long ones that aren't quite the same color as the other purple, but they do match this. And I think I'm actually going to add them as some trim just along the top of here, really lightly. Just to kind of add a little more to that mask. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so I think it's looking pretty darn good. Except for it kind of looks like a jellyfish, doesn't it? So I think what I'm going to do is go around and kind of trim some of these off of here so they're not so long. Just kind of make them different lengths. So it has a little bit of fullness to it, but not too much. And yeah, so it doesn't look quite like a jellyfish. This is the first time I have used this mesh, what do you call this? Tubing, mesh tubing. This looks like a hat I could wear. I like it. I think I still need to do a little bit of trimming, but it's like you're giving it a haircut. Anyway, I think this will look super cute sitting on a table. I'm going to go ahead and finish trimming the back of this. But before my camera runs out of memory or space, I want to turn these on. I want to make sure they work. So you guys know I wasn't just full of it when I said I thought these were going to work like this. Put this one back on there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it because I had no idea what I was going to make with all this stuff. But I am pretty happy. I might even try to raise these candles up in the back just a little bit. But overall, I think it turned out really cute. I mean, for a last minute, you know, centerpiece. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it inspires you to make something for Mardi Gras. And stay tuned because I do have that tip coming up that if you have a dog, I shouldn't say pets because I don't know what to do with cats. I don't have any cats. But if you have dogs, I guarantee you I have a tip that will gain you at least 15 to 20 minutes of some free time. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.